TGIF, it's Friday, May 31st, 2024. Your Day Weather Podcast brought to you by Wyoming State Parks. Temperatures are warming up across the state. Wyoming State Parks and historic sites are gearing up with a season of fun and educational summer events. Visit these parks' respective Facebook pages for more information. What side of the divide are you on? Because that's going to really dictate how your weekend is going to go. You're going to see cooler weather today across some areas east of the divide. There's going to be some shower and thunderstorm activity. We have some that's carrying on this morning from overnight, but west of the divide and in the northern areas, the air is drier, more stable, and there really won't be much going on, and it won't change for the weekend. So basically, if you're east of the Continental Divide, you'll be susceptible to some thunderstorms this weekend. We're talking about your afternoon-evening cycle that we go through. That'll be a pattern that won't be widespread. Even if you're east of the divide, there's no guarantee you're going to get rained on, but there's going to be some showers and storms. If you're west of the divide, a very quiet, pleasant first weekend of June with warm temperatures and sunshine and really nice weather conditions. We're going to have a weekend that I think a lot of us wish we had during the holiday weekend. But east of the divide, there's going to be a little bit of afternoon and evening thunder. You'll need to keep that in mind for outdoor activities. Solar activity is picking up again, and it's because of the same sunspot that gave us all that activity with the big aurora outbreak that we had around May 10th to the 12th. That sunspot is rotated around the sun and is coming back pointing to Earth again. Some great shots coming in from the clouds and the activity yesterday, afternoon and evening across the region. Now there's a Denver Bronco sunset if I've ever seen one. When we take a look at the satellite imagery this morning, again, as we showed you yesterday, this area just continues to have repeating shower and thunderstorm activity from parts of the central and northern plains down into the southern plains and into the Corn Belt, while high pressure and drier air here is across the areas of the west. Notice the blue. We've got a little bit of low cloudiness, cool air, moist air coming out of those thunderstorms banked up against the divide down here in New Mexico as well. And this lower level moisture is going to help feed the afternoon and evening thunderstorm development later today. But if you get west of the divide, not much going on. This big swirl of clouds up here in the Gulf of Alaska going to stay up there and really not make much of a movement eastward for a little bit. So the weather is going to be mostly dominated by this patch of clear that you see there. This morning, the thunderstorms and the showers about where they were at this time yesterday morning on that north-south axis. As we roll through today and the weekend, we have the main low up here into north-central areas of Canada. There's that low pressure system in the Gulf of Alaska. We have these little ripples. This little low I'm showing you here, little ripples in the atmosphere that'll be coming through, and that will help set off those afternoon and evening thunderstorms east of the divide, where there's going to be some higher humidity air moisture available. So we'll see this finger of moisture like we saw late yesterday afternoon and evening come up into here, then out into the plains. This will initiate showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. They'll head east during the evening and nighttime hours. There's a little bit of moisture here along the Wasatch that'll produce a few isolated showers and thunderstorms today over the mountains of Colorado. But you can see a lot of the west. There's a lot of white, not much going on. This is where this risk of severe weather will be today with those late day showers and thunderstorms, again in the south along the Gulf Coast. Then right along this area here, had a very active night last night of thunderstorms and will so again later today and tonight. But you can see that sharp dividing line along the divide. Tomorrow and into the weekend, basically the same setup, little ripples coming on through. That low just stays up there in the Gulf of Alaska, and this is what the thunderstorm pattern looks like for tomorrow. So if you're going to be out and about under those green and blue and yellow and red and purple areas, that's where your thunderstorm activity will be most prevalent, mainly later in the day, with most of the day having sunshine, warm temperatures, and some nice early June weather. This is what Saturdays look like when it comes to the risk of some stronger thunderstorms. So the risk of strong thunderstorms backs a little westward, closer to the I-25 corridor on Saturday. Then on Sunday, somewhat of a similar setup, but we're going to see the axis of the heavier thunderstorms a little bit further east, but still along and east of the divide, there's going to be a little bit of activity. Again, nothing to write home about. You just need to plan around them if you're planning outdoor activities this weekend. That's where the severe risk is going to be on Sunday, shifting eastward, more towards the Dakotas, north central Nebraska. That's what the thunderstorm pattern on Monday looks like. Again, getting pushed out a little bit more to the east. But again, it's that north-south axis that continues to be in the areas that continue to get it. So those are the areas that will continue to have the best chances of accumulating rainfall. Temperature-wise, warming up. As we go into early June, it certainly looks to be a warmer month than what we had during the month of May. So you can see over our 5-day period, some warmth returns to the region with temperatures a bit above average. The solar activity is picking up right here. This sunspot is the same sunspot that caused the aurora outbreak earlier in the month. It took a couple of weeks to rotate around the sun, and here it is back again, and it's still very large. It's still very active. So we're entering into another phase where if you're a sky watcher, you want to maybe check to see if the aurora might be back. Well, it could be back. Will it reach the levels of what we had earlier in the month? Probably not, but these things are very, very difficult to predict. So if you're a sky watcher, you're going to want to stay abreast of the situation. We've seen an uptick here over the last couple of days in solar activity with the K-index going up. And we do have a geomagnetic storm watch coming up from today into the weekend. You can see that we're looking at, over the next 24 to 48 hours, G2 to maybe G3 event coming on up. So we are looking at that activity coming our way, and it's going to be a while here where that sunspot is going to be facing the Earth. So if there's coronal mass ejections, they have a chance of intersecting the Earth with the sunspot activity, that very active region, coming back into view again. Have yourself a good weekend. We'll see you Monday.